to try a little bit, I get off of him. In other words, I get out of there with the pressure. So all I'm doing here is saying, get soft again. Get soft. See, he's kind of getting heavy. So I'll go forward. There. And I got to get out before he gets heavy. If I'd have stayed in there, he'd have got heavy. So I tried to get out while he was light. And then this release here is my way of saying, that's what I'd like you to do. Be soft, and I'll get out. Be soft, and I'll get out. And he's got to believe me that that's what I'm going to do before he really starts to turn loose inside. Any horse. So it's about consistency on what you want. It's about consistency and when you release, and doing it over and over and over and over and over until it's just part of his way of being. See, and I'm trying to use my body more than the reins, so he'll work off my body. So I'm letting him. I'm shifting my weight back, and say, "Come on back with me." There, and he's coming back. Get out. So that's what I would do with these horses. This horse, to go on with him, I would do those very things that I did. Just that progression, that whole little progression I did, I would do it over and over until I started to see the softness hanging. In other words, I want him to carry that himself. I want him to be doing it himself when I even suggest it. Like that. See, I'm just barely asking him here. And when he does it, see, I'm just barely asking him to change. And the harder he tries, the more I get out of there. See, I give him most of the responsibility. I just up here just to see if I need to fix things up again. And the reason sometimes I'll come off and do these things like I'm turning him like this, and I'm rolling the hind quarters over here like this, and then I do the front quarters over here like this. And I'll wait till he does it there, and then I'll say, hey, good. There's a little releases in all of those things, good. And I'll say, how about start a circle? I want to back a circle. It starts with small arcs that are all put together. And these horses never have back circles per se. They can back. They back straight, but backing a circle is difficult for a horse. So I just break it down into small arcs, and I release for each try. So I'll do it again. Reach. Good. I release. Reach. So now we almost got a half a circle. If you see how I put it together there, I'm just asking him in small increments. One day, he'll be able to back the whole circle all at once. There, release. And then I'll finish off with a straight, backing straight. It's easier for a horse to back straight than to back an arc. There. So all that is just lateral work, and lateral work. And so what that does is you put all that lateral work together, and then you can get a straight horse, straighter than you ever got before. And when I mean straight, not straight and resistant straight, but balanced, more balanced on the front end and the hind end. I learned something the other day. I was at an English riding clinic. It was a basic introduction to doing the poles with horses, and I was in my English saddle, and the teacher was very, 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 very good. And she said there's two types of balances. There's lateral balance, right? That's the kind of stuff going on. Get lateral balance. And there's longitudinal balance. That's front and back. And that's basically the rectangle. So the balance, when I'm trotting that horse and he gets heavy on the front and I pull him and set him back, longitudinally he's not balanced. He's pushing out the front end. So if you want a more balanced horse, you're always looking at the lateral balance first, and then the longitudinal balance second, and that's what forms this rectangle. Side to side is your lateral balance. Front and back is your longitudinal balance. So I always want the horse not pushing through the front of that rectangle or not lagging back. A dull horse, the other horse tends to stay in the back of the rectangle. And if your lateral balance, if your horse is not laterally balanced, he's going to fall out over here. His shoulders will fall out over here to the right side maybe. And you're trying to keep him in the center of that rectangle. And when they get to the center, wherever that set, because that rectangle follows you all over. I mean, when I'm going like this, that rectangle is following me. It's just right here, and right here, and right here, and right here. And he's pretty much in the center of that rectangle. So what do I do when he's in the center of that rectangle? I leave him alone so that he'll want to be in the center. And if he wants to be in the center of my rectangle, then I don't have to do as much. I don't have to do as much. I don't have to use my legs as much. I don't have to, you know, because he's there. But if he doesn't know where the center is and where that release is in the center, he'll never want to be in the center. So all the great horse people from bygone years and the classical people and all that, they're always thinking about longitudinal and lateral. And that's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to get him better. I'm trying to get him, see? So my rectangle is following me here, right? There's that side pass a little bit. Now, eventually as he gets better, he'll get straighter in the side pass. You see how I got him pretty bent? Okay. So his hindquarters are lagging, so I'm going to get those hindquarters up there. When he start there, I'll quit. When he gets kind of straight and he's still moving his feet, I'll quit. So I'm working side to side, front to back, and I want him straight. If he gets off when he's backing, I'll move those hindquarters over a little bit and say, here, let's go straight. Let's go again. Right, left, right, left, right, left. So I release for each step. That encourages him to want to keep going. If I don't release, he's going to get annoyed pretty soon and he'll get dull and not want to back up anymore. So there's got to be a release. See how he gets nice and soft? I love that. But I want there and there, right, left, left. Come on. I got to quit him while he's there. I'll quit him there. He got a little dull. I didn't want to quit him while he's dull, so I just kind of asked for a little bit more energy, more life. And when he got it, I quit. Okay, I think that figures that part out. I want to do a little bit on the gait. How I approach this horse on the gait, just like the other horse. So I'm going to go to the gait. And right now I'm just going to see how he is, because we've been doing this. So I got to assess how he is before I go on. If he'll stand, then good. I'll let him stand and enjoy it a minute. But see, talk about this longitudinal lateral work. I've got a lot of lateral work to get through a gait. I got to be able to control somewhat his front quarters. I got to be able to control his hind quarters somewhat. I don't want him taken off, so I've got to be able to get him stopped and backed up. So it's side to side, front and back. And if I'm teaching a young horse and it's never done this before, this is the first thing. Make sure he doesn't get scared of the sound and the movement. And he's good, so I'm going to continue on. And the first stages of this is always push the gate away, because I don't want that gate to come in and scare him inadvertently. I want him to follow that gate, so the gate goes away from me. And through, and I don't want him to leave. I want him just to, so I've got to control how he comes around. So come around. Good, that's good. He could be better, but that was pretty good. So I'll stop right there, because now we have to change. Here's the thing. Now I've got to go right. So I've got to get left flexion, and I've got to get his left side of his rib cage kind of given to the right. So he's got to get shaped up. So I've got to be able to let him know that so he can get prepared. See, there, now he's prepared. He's a little bit off. His hindquarters came more than his front, but that's okay. I'll still release for the try. And I'll give him a break there. Incrementally break it down into little bits. But I'm going to try to get him as straight as I can before I latch this gate. So I got to get his front end over. So I'm going to say, can you get your front end over? There. One step. That was a good try. Now see how I'm pretty good. I'd rather have the latch right at my stirrup, right at my leg, because if he sucks back, then I'm less vulnerable and I'm less apt to fall off. Because if he sucks back and I'm leaning over like this, it's pretty easy just to go right over the front end. Because the balance is off. So I'll ask him to go forward a little bit. There. Good. Now I'm in a better position. If he wants to leave and he leaves abruptly, he's going to leave. He's more apt to leave forward. And I'd rather have him, if he's going to leave forward than back. A little trust going on here, because it's taking me 2 hands to do this. I got my reins draped over the saddle horn. The only other way to do it is go like this. And I got something. He did really good. That's just what I want. I want him to say, well, you want me to wait here forever and just take a nap? Yep. Because what'll happen, they'll hear that, you get a horse that savvies this and you do it a bunch, especially when you're working and you're not thinking about your horse as much, he'll hear that gate, that snap on the chain, and as soon as he hears that snap on the chain, he wants to take off. So the idea is snap that chain, and if you have a minute when you're not working, because if you're working somebody and you're helping them on the ranch and you're going through gates and back and forth, you can't do that. They're going to be waiting on you. The crew's going to be waiting on you. So, do this when nobody's around, and he's more apt to stay. He did great. He did better than the other horse there. He did excellent. So, what I'm going to do just for the heck of it is I'm going to sidestep him, side pass him to his left, just because it gives me an opportunity to work on all these things. So I'm going to say, just get a little right bend, and I'm going to give him a little right leg, open my left leg up, and say, just step over. And he got a little confused. There, step over again. Got to maintain that right bend. Right bend. Good. Release. And I'm gonna ask him for a few more steps. So I'll say right bend, right leg. Right bend. See, he wants to there. That was correct. So he was backing up. I didn't release for that. As soon as he stepped laterally, I released. Do it again. Incrementally. Excellent. I'm going to see how close I can get to this fence. One step at a time. There. Good. Right bend, right leg. Good. So on these side passes like that, just do it one step at a time in the beginning. And I'll step him back that way. And I'll just see how soft or hard he is. He might be resistant on this. So I'll get a little left bend, the left leg gets going. There, that was pretty good. He was a little bit unbalanced. But I won't get critical on that in the beginning. His hindquarters are out in front. You can see his hindquarters are out in front of his front quarters. Eventually, I can keep him even. But right now, I just want him to go that way. And I'll release for that. So my right rein comes out here. That becomes my leading rein. There, that was pretty good. Did you notice that his hindquarters were trailing that time and his front quarters were leading? See? That's okay for now. Oh yeah, that was really good. See, and I just hung in there. At first, his feet were moving, but they weren't doing what I wanted them to do. I'm saying, I'll release when you go to the right. Back to the gate again. Right leg, left bend. He puts me straight onto that gate. So I'll give him that release there for doing such a good job, and I'll just back him right up to the latch as if I wanted to go through it the other way. And I'm just practicing all these maneuvers and trying to apply them in a practical sense, opening a gate or doing anything like that, because if you just do them dry over and over, it might get pretty boring for you and the horse. So take that and apply it to something, to the gate, to going through gates. There's so many things. That pull work, stopping and going. See it release. I'm releasing for every step. Release. Excellent. See? I'll shake this. Good. And he's probably gone through a jillion gates. It's not like he probably doesn't know this. But the way he was approaching the gate, I didn't care for when in the beginning. He was just, he'd bump it, he'd push it, he'd be sideways, his hips would be out, he wouldn't be lined up with it. So I just want to get him proper. I'm going to take him back for a side pass again to the left. So when I side pass to the left, I've got to get right flexion, slight right flexion, so I see the back of his eye, and my left leg goes out away from him just enough so I kind of open the door to the left, and then I get active with my right leg to say, move your feet that way. So I get him prepared. See how at first he kind of doesn't know what to do? Pretty soon that'll all go away and he'll know right what to do. But see, he does get it. I just got to hang in there until he gets it. There's another step. Get the hips over a little bit. There, good. I'll release for that. Do it again. Like that. Hey, I just break it down and keep doing it. And to me, I like doing stuff like this. So I like to break it down and to help them because they get an understanding of this. And see, my left rein is important. It's a leading rein. So I'm saying, come on, follow that leading rein too. My right rein, which is bending his head, is actually my supporting rein. So I'm going the other way. This would be my leading rein, kind of out there showing him. See, and as they get better, I don't have to show that rein so much. I can get in here like this, see? But I want to make sure he knows. That's pretty good. His hips are kind of behind, but that's okay. He's really soft and he's really doing it. That was excellent. It was very good. So I think that'll do it. I'll take him one more time to the fence, and then I'll call that good. Here we go. Right flexion, right leg. My left hand is my leading hand. And if he's kind of going, I'll come back in. Got to get that hip over there. There. Now he's kind of lined up. Kind of, come on, keep it going. You're all right. He's following that field pretty good. He's a little bit resistant there. Let me see. Come on. There. Back him. Then I'll just hit that last step because I don't want him to think that I was trying to back him when I was trying to get aside. See how he wants to kind of back up? So I'll just hang in there, bump until he goes sideways. Doesn't matter where he goes sideways now, as long as he goes sideways. There. And he wasn't doing anything wrong. He was doing what he thought that I wanted. So it's not like, you dumb horse. No, it's just like, okay, then I'm not going to release for that. And I'm going to do it again because he got a little bit off on that. So you hang in there until you get something that looks like the desired effect, even if it's just a little one. Right flexion, right leg. Ha ha. Yes. See, and there was no confusion there. He goes, I get it. But it's up to me to make the adjustment to make sure that he understands. He's not going to learn that on his own if I release when he's backing up, you see. So a lot of times, if I'm not aware of what I'm asking for and I release for the wrong thing, man, just a time or two and they'll start doing it. And you're thinking, where did he get that habit? Well, chances are the rider put it in there and didn't even know it. Okay, that'll do it.